Hi, welcome back to the Good Noise Podcast. My name is Glory, and today I'm here with.
Dom from the Comfort.
Great. And today we're going to chat about your newest record, Let the Love In. Congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the album so far?
We've kind of been blown away, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
it was a we weren't expecting this much of a response. So with the first two records, we kind of had them like slowly rise up, but this is like the biggest 2 weeks of streaming in like our first 2 weeks since a record release that we've ever had
Oh
on
my
our third
goodness.
album. So
Yeah.
we're kind of shocked by it, but it's been absolutely awesome.
Oh, that is so wonderful to hear. Obviously, I checked out the record before the interview. Incredible. You guys fucked it up. It is
Thank you so
wonderful.
much.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, so with the album title. The guitarist and other vocalist Liam, he had a friend who passed away a couple of years ago,
Mm,
and he used to write this like newsletter,
mm-hmm,
and he was kind of a mentor to Liam, and he actually like wrote this big long like newsletter in one of them and said, um, I've noticed that I need to be letting the love in more, and basically
mm,
like the whole preface was like. I need to like be loved and love in return, and that's like where I need to
mm,
improve in my life. And
mm,
Liam saw that and just went, okay, that's us too. That's me. It's me.
mm,
And then the whole album was kind of built around, not intentionally, but it was built around that premise and trying to better ourselves as people
mm.
and trying to let more love in
Yeah.
and be better humans.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. And would you be able to tell me a little bit about your writing process for this record?
Yeah, sure. So with the writing process, we started that probably back in maybe like 2022, late 22, early 23. We
Mm-hmm.
just released our second album, Experience Everything,
Mm-hmm.
and we write slowly in some ways and write quick in other ways. So we'd have like our guitarist Marcus had written a whole heap of songs for that record, and straight after that, he'd written a bunch more as well, and some of those ended up being on this record, Everlasting in particular.
Okay.
But then over the course of the next sort of 2 years, we just wrote and wrote and wrote and had most of them probably came about within the early 2024,
Mm-hmm.
and from there, like Liam writes a lot of the chords and the riffs, and then comes to us to finish off the song.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, it's kind of like he might have like a lyric here or there, and then he'll pass it off to me and let me finish off the song. Like with "Let the Love In" particular, he had if I could do it all again, the only thing I'd do to change would be to let the love in, and then from there, handed it off to me and said, "You take the reins. I know like you've got where it needs to go from here," and then
Yeah.
I wrote the rest of the song from there based on some other personal experiences.
Okay.
So that generally is what happens with our band is
Mm-hmm.
like it's pretty collaborative,
Yeah.
and like one person will start a song and then hand it off to the others, and we'll work our way through it and put our own little mark on it in some way.
Mm-hmm. I love that. All right. And what song off the album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
My personal favorite is probably the closer, Let the Love In.
Yeah.
I'm just a sucker for those big long epics at the end of an album.
Yeah.
Even though they're not usually like the ones that pop off so much. For some reason this time it's been doing really well, so it's
Yeah.
been
That's good.
coming up in our stream numbers, and it's really nice to see.
Mm.
But the longest to write, I'd probably have to say. It's funny because sometimes the ones that are the longest to write have been around for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Like naturally, but like you think they're going to be the ones that sort of pop off and they're easy to go, but you might have like I think it was Alchemy. We
Mm-hmm.
had like one sort of riff
Mm-hmm.
and one kind of chorus idea, but it took like probably almost a year before I was able
Whoa.
to get like lyrics and stuff on that
Yeah.
and really understand where we wanted the song to go.
Mm-hmm.
So Alchemy would be up there. Another one is probably Down,
Mm-hmm.
which is the first single we released off the album. We had everything pretty well done. But then when we got into the studio with Cal and Orr from Dream on Dreamer,
Yeah.
um, he he sat down with us and was like, I think we need to like elevate this chorus and rewrite it, and
Mm-hmm.
then we like wrote an entirely new bridge and everything. So from
Yeah.
from when we first wrote the riffs to the complete song was like probably 2 years.
2 years, Jesus. So
Yeah.
I'm curious on the timeline for the record of when you guys
Mhm.
actually sat down and said we're gonna make a record. Was that a conversation that you guys had? And then when you guys wrapped it up and when it was mastered, produced, mixed, everything done, packaged up.
Yeah, so I guess we started writing slowly after our second album,
Okay.
and we actually intended to do an EP. So we wrote a couple of heavy songs, and we were
Mm-hmm.
going to make like a heavier side of the Comfort and do an EP with that.
Yeah.
Um, but we just wrote too many songs, and we got to the
Oh.
point,
Yeah.
yeah, we got to the point where in late 23 we'd worked with Callan at Avalanche Studios to do a standalone single called "The Weight of the World."
Mm-hmm.
And when we did that, we sort of went, okay, we can work with this guy
Yeah.
like in a way bigger capacity than this one song. We just got along really well, and
Yeah.
we were confident in where he could take our songs.
Mm-hmm.
So not long after that, we booked in July 24 to sit down with him for 3 weeks and record and get him to produce the album.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um, so then we after that 3 weeks time we were probably everything was done, tracked, written, and then it was just all on Cal to mix and master it from there.
Yeah. Perfection. All right. And how did the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener to be the opener, closer to be the closer? Did you guys shuffle it around to see what fits? What was that process like?
We definitely shuffled it around a
Okay.
fair bit.
Yeah.
There, like I've got like SoundCloud links where you've
Nice.
got like track listing one, track listing two,
Mm-hmm.
track listing three.
Yeah.
But Existence is Suffering was always the first track because like sometimes you hear a song and you're like this can't sit anywhere else on the album except first or last,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
you just have like a vibe like that where you're like it's not going to work anywhere else.
Yeah.
Um, and at the end of the day, we're trying to tell a story as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think being able to start with Existence is Suffering and really try and like bring it in onto the human experience
Mm-hmm.
and understand like what people can go through and the capacity to suffer
Mm-hmm.
and try and get to that from a very fundamental level to
Mm-hmm.
then come out the other side on at the end of the record with like a positive message to say like, yep, despite this,
Mm-hmm.
we can all try and be a little bit better and let the love in and try and love people in return.
Yeah.
And so both those songs kind of like bookend
Yeah.
the whole album, I think. And they I think it was probably inevitable that they were always going to be like that. But between there,
Mm-hmm.
we just had to figure out the way that the songs wanted to work together and but between like the three or four different track listings we had, they were always the same.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad you guys were on the same page with that. Everything else was just vibes, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And would you be able to tell me where your headspace is at while you're creating the record?
It's that's a funny question because it definitely changes. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think I said this on another podcast recently, but like sometimes when we start like writing even just a singular song,
Yeah.
my headspace isn't the same between starting the song and finishing the song
Mm-hmm.
because you might like I might write like some quite negative lyrics at times,
Mm-hmm.
and try and be understanding like of why we suffer as humans and so on. But by the end of the song, I'm trying to look for like I've come out of that suffering period and I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to look for the positive and why I went through that and try and put a different spin on it.
Yeah.
So even from start to finish between one song, let alone a whole record,
Mm-hmm.
the headspace is constantly changing.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha. All right. And you did mention that this album is kind of loosely a concept record, just commentary. At what point did that kind of click for you where it's like, oh, I'm talking about the same thing throughout this entire record? Was it halfway point or was it towards the end when you were packaging it all together?
I think packaging it all together
Mm-hmm.
in the past, with our previous lyrics and everything, and even sound as well,
Yeah.
it's we've never set out to be intentional that we that we do that and write about the same thing, but it just happens, I guess. Like
Mhm.
that's our writing style, and we're very into those sort of like esoteric and fundamental like philosophical questions, and they seem to come out in our writing whether we like it or not.
Mhm.
So, but I think by the end of the record, to answer your question though, it's when it sort of started to tie in together, and we understood that really it was talking about a whole journey and
Mhm.
not just a moment of suffering.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. And how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, dark with headphones on? Should they work out to it? What do you personally recommend?
I think all good records start listening dark with headphones, but it's
Mm.
not always practical these days, I guess.
That's
So
fair.
like I also listen to this at the gym or like
Mm-hmm.
it before it came out, I was on the SoundCloud track listings and doing it while going for a run.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a solid 35 minutes of like I could run um throughout that whole thing, and some of them are like quite well paced and they
Mm-hmm.
work as well. And it's a very upbeat album for the comfort, I guess, as well. So it does fit those sort of workout vibes. Always dark with headphones,
Oh yeah.
but otherwise exercise. I love it. Or going on like a nice walk. That'd be nice too.
Yeah.
Walk through a forest somewhere and have your headphones on and just check out with the world and
Mm-hmm.
engage with music.
Yeah, perfect. And this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
3 words.
3 words. Mm-hmm.
uh, heavy,
Mm-hmm.
deep,
Yeah.
and bright.
Hell yeah. Perfect. Perfect. We'll take it. We'll take it. And in the same vein as the last question, but not as much pressure, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this album to evoke in your listeners?
Um, I think we always invoke melancholy, but not necessarily intentionally. So hope
Mm,
would be
hope.
what I'm hoping people can pull from it.
Yeah, wonderful. So the exact opposite of melancholy.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
It's always a challenge to live with your bandmates for a couple of weeks on end.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Mm,
But I think it makes for a stronger relationship overall with them, and for that a better product at the end. So
mm,
I think because of all the times we've been through like over the last like I mean, 13 years as a band, but like 17 years as best mates and whatnot. It's like all of those little moments where you're like you stay and you're like you get in each other's heads and
mm.
you bicker and whatnot. You come out stronger for it every single time, and I think that also shows in the music.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god. And are you able? Oh, sorry. And for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
We're a fun drink band. We'll call anything that's
Ooh,
like
yeah, yeah,
sparkling
yeah.
or it's got like some caffeine
Yeah.
or like it's juicy or something.
Mm-hmm.
So every single servo or gas station stop,
Mm-hmm.
we're looking for fun drinks.
Yeah.
And that sometimes that's like Ghost energy drinks.
Oh,
Love those.
oh my
Yeah.
god, those are my fave. What is your wait? What's your go-to flavor for that?
Mine's sour watermelon.
Oh, so I'm sour green apple.
Ah, it's good.
Oh,
It's
oh yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Sour watermelon.
Liam loves the blue raspberry though,
Ooh,
which I can do as well. It's
yeah.
nice.
Dabble. Yeah, I dabble. I dabble. All right. And on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Ah, that's a great question.
Thank you.
I'd have to say we'd have to be like some sort of vegan chicken burger.
Ooh, chicken. Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
anything,
because
any toppings? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, something a little bit spicy.
Mm,
We're all big fans of that sort of like hot sauce and
mm-hmm.
but yeah, a vegan chicken burger with hot sauce. There
Mm-hmm.
you go.
Solid. Hell yeah. And for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music if that's okay with you.
Of course.
Great. So we're actually going to go straight to death row. So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Drink coffee.
Okay.
I love my black coffee, my filter coffee.
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
got this one that I've made
Yeah.
this
On
morning
standby.
to yeah, to drink.
Yeah.
Um, and food
Mhm.
would have to be back to the vegan
Mhm.
chicken nuggets or a vegan chicken
Oh
burger,
yeah.
something like that. That's
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah. Perfect. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Ooh.
Hmm.
These are great questions. I
Thank
wish
you
I'd
so
like
much.
pre-thought of some cool answers, but I
Yeah.
don't have that, so it's all on the spot.
I'll send
I
you the list next time.
like my gut goes to wanting to be in like the world of like Lord of the Rings or
Oh
Harry
yeah,
Potter or
yeah, yeah.
something like magical, but like those places are full of like scary suffering as
Oh, it's
well,
scary
so
as shit.
not
Yeah.
so sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to say, honestly, it's always like the things I loved as a child. So like the world of Dragon Ball,
Oh, hell
where I
yeah.
could be, yeah, Saiyan or some sort of alien
Yeah.
with flying powers and
Yeah, why the hell not? You brought up Harry Potter, so I have to ask, what is your house?
what is my house?
Yeah, yeah.
Hufflepuff.
Your Huffle
Yeah, yeah.
twin. Hell yeah.
There we
Hell
go.
yeah.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah. All right.
Sick.
And I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person I've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Oh,
Yeah.
most important question.
Oh my goodness,
Um,
yes.
I laugh at this question a lot because like if people ask it, I say I don't really have a favorite color. I'm not six anymore.
Oh my god. Where's your joy? Where's your whimsy?
Or but no, I'm really into like mustard colors at the moment, like really
Ooh.
earthy tones, mustard
Yeah.
colors, a little bit of like dark orange, burnt
Mm-hmm.
orange kind
Okay.
of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that burnt orange is like the coffee coming out in
Ex-
me. Not sure.
Exactly. It runs through your veins. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as I said, those are all the questions I have for you today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
We'll have a tour in probably in Australia though, so it doesn't really help this, but Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne in
Yeah.
February next year. But if any Australian listeners are there,
Yeah.
come out and see us.
Hmm.
We'll be announcing it in about a week or two.
Oh, hell yeah. Wonderful. Well, as I said, that's it. Thank you so much for your time. This has been Gloria from the Good Noise Podcast, and I've been joined by Dominic from The Comfort. Thank you so much.